If you love Strand, this build is going to blow your mind. We're talking massive Threadling swarms, boss-melting DPS, and full room clears with nothing but green fury. But here's the kicker. This isn't just another Threadling setup. We're combining the devastating power of Swarmers with the insane ability regeneration of Spirit of the Inmost Light, all packed into a single exotic, the Solipsism Warlock bond. And let me tell you, once I started running this build, I haven't wanted to play anything else. Welcome to Insightful Gaming. Today, I'm sharing a Warlock Strand build that's completely taken over my loadouts. We're spamming Threadlings, shattering mobs, and chaining abilities faster than ever thanks to perfect synergy across aspects, fragments, mods, and weapons. Especially this season, where Strand is eating good. From Unraveling Orbs and Vile Weave, to Disruptor Strike, and to Shreds, the current seasonal perks crank this build to 11. You'll be generating Tangles non-stop, turning them into Threadlings, and sending an entire army of green death into anything that moves. Chapters are included for easy navigation, and if you want to theory craft with the community or join my clan, check the description for our Discord link and sign up info. And hey, if this sounds like your kind of chaos, drop a like and subscribe. I post builds like this every week. Let's dive into the exotic that turns this build from powerful to absolutely cracked. The engine of this build is the Solipsism Warlock bond, and what makes it so overpowered is the dual exotic perks it brings. First, you get Spirit of the Inmost Light, which empowers your abilities. Every time you use one, grenade, melee, or class ability, it drastically accelerates the regeneration of the other two. That alone would be a top-tier utility perk. But then you stack Spirit of the Swarm on top of it and things go wild. Every time you destroy a Tangle, it spawns Threadlings. And with this build, we're generating Tangles constantly. That means the battlefield is never quiet. Your army of Threadlings is always growing and always on the move. Now add this season's Strand-focused artifact perks into the mix, and the synergy gets even crazier. Unraveling Orbs gives your Strand weapons unraveling rounds just from picking up Orbs of Power or Tangles, which we're doing constantly through orb-generating mods and all the Threadling spam. Vile Weave ensures that any target hit by a Tangle gets severed, weakening their damage output and helping you lock down tankier enemies. Disruptor Strike amps up both Exhaust and Sever, reducing enemy damage even further and helping you control champion-level threats with ease. Then there's Horde Hurtle, which is tailor-made for this build. When you damage unraveled targets with a weapon, you occasionally spawn even more Threadlings. It's free DPS, it's AoE, and it feeds back into your loop. And finally, 2 Shreds might be the most broken of them all. When you deal sustained damage to severed enemies, they become unraveled, and killing them creates Strand hotspots that grant woven mail to nearby allies. These hotspots make your team tankier while you're running around dropping Threadlings like it's a party. At the center of this build's weapon loadout is Barrow Dyad, and it is, without a doubt, one of the strongest Strand primaries in the game right now. What makes it perfect for this Threadling-focused setup is how it complements every part of the loop. Its intrinsic trait, Panic Response, lets it generate blight as it deals damage. When you stop firing, that blight gradually refills your magazine, and when you reload, it converts stored blight into blighted seekers, homing projectiles that burrow into targets and explode. Pair that with Taken Ambition, which increases blight generation the longer you stay on target, and this weapon becomes a grenade launcher in disguise with near infinite uptime. But for a Threadling build, there's one more reason Barrow Dyad is so important. We're running the Hatchling refit. This trait spawns a Threadling on precision kills or when you rapidly defeat targets. For your special and heavy weapons, the choice is yours depending on champion mods and the activity. Personally, I'm running a rocket sidearm for anti-barrier control and a linear fusion rifle with auto-loading holster and bait and switch for unstoppables and boss DPS. That said, machine guns are also great for synergy with woven mail and sustained damage uptime. This build revolves around rapid ability spam and relentless Threadling generation, and every piece of your ability kit is built to keep that loop alive. Your super is Needlestorm, which fits the build thematically and mechanically. It launches a swarm of Threadling projectiles that track enemies and deal massive damage, especially when amplified by seasonal perks like To Shreds and Horde Hurtle. If you want a more classic Void option for burst, Nova Bomb is a viable alternative, but Needlestorm leans directly into what this build does best: spawn and swarm. For your class ability, you can go with either Healing Rift for sustained survivability or Phoenix Dive for quick burst healing and ability regen. Both activate Spirit of the Inmost Light, which empowers your other abilities the moment you cast them. The choice comes down to your comfort level and how aggressive you want to play. Your melee is Arcane Needle, and it synergizes beautifully with Focusing Strike, your Strand Fragments, and your seasonal perks. Each throw can unravel, sever, or poison targets depending on how you're playing, and they help keep ability cooldowns moving, especially with Spirit of the Inmost Light and Facet of Balance working in the background. For grenades, we're going all in on Threadling Grenade. We're using Weaver's Call and Feed the Void as our aspects. Weaver's Call makes your Rift summon Threadlings based on your current charges, letting you use it both offensively and defensively. Feed the Void grants Devour on kills, which keeps you alive and feeding your ability loop. Your Fragments seal the loop. Facet of Dawn gives you Radiant on melee kills, boosting your weapon damage. Facet of Hope improves class ability cooldowns. Facet of Sacrifice fuels Transcendence energy on kills, speeding up super access. Facet of Protection gives damage resistance when surrounded, making you harder to kill mid-engagement. And Facet of Balance enhances melee and grenade regen every time you use any ability, which is constantly in this build. Your armor mods are what make the engine of this build feel unstoppable. On the helmet, Strand Siphon generates orbs from Strand weapon kills. Perfect synergy with Barrow Dyad. Hands-On gives bonus super energy for every melee kill, which adds up fast when you're constantly throwing arcane needles. Heavy Ammo Finder ensures your heavy stays stocked. On the gauntlets, Heavy Handed creates orbs on powered melee kills, which feeds into your orb economy while pairing perfectly with Facet of Sacrifice and Unraveling Orbs. Focusing Strike gives you class ability energy on melee hits, which keeps your Rift uptime high and fuels Weaver's Call. Melee Kickstart refunds melee energy when a charge is spent, so even if you miss a throw, you're not punished. You're always moving forward. Chest mods are flexible. Slot in defensive picks like Concussive Dampener or specific resistances depending on your activity. You're playing close to the action, so survivability matters here. On your boots, Better already triggers healing on orb pickup. Invigoration gives melee energy when you collect one, and Recuperation tops off your health instantly. This trio keeps you in the fight longer and ensures your melee is always just a few steps away from being back up. Your Bond closes the loop. Reaper generates orbs from weapon kills after activating your class ability, syncing directly with Phoenix Dive or Healing Rift. Bomber reduces grenade cooldown when using your class ability, and Powerful Attraction pulls orbs directly to you when you use your Rift. No need to chase them down. All of it works together to make sure you're never starved for energy, and your Threadling swarm is always growing. This build is pure Strand domination. You're generating Threadlings non-stop, turning Tangles into living weapons, and chaining abilities faster than the game can keep up. With Solipsism giving you both Spirit of the Swarm and Inmost Light, every Tangle becomes a threat. Every ability fuels the next, and your battlefield is never quiet. If you found this build helpful or fun, drop a like and hit that subscribe button. New builds drop weekly. Got your own take on Threadling Warlock or a build you'd like to see next? Drop it in the comments, and don't forget to join the Discord. Links in the description, along with how to join the clan. Thanks for watching. Stay weaved, stay wicked. This is Insightful Gaming, signing off.